Good morning. My name is Dave Hughes. I want to thank you guys for having me come talk to you today. I know some of you are probably thinking, why is this asshole from the recording industry coming to talk to us? Isn't suing our students enough or something? But I figured we were invited. It's an educational environment. I'll come. I'll talk a little bit about the music industry. I'll talk about security issues and piracy and all the stuff that you're expecting and the sorry state of my industry. And we will leave lots of time at the end for questions. And, so if I don't answer your question during my sort of little presentation here, feel free to ask away. Any reasonable question, I will do my best to answer. Okay? We have microphones too. I gather that this is being recorded for a podcast, and we're going to be here for a while, so if you don't mind, I'm going to sit down. And I will refer to my notes periodically. So I thought about just starting out by saying, hey, you know, music industry is dying, and you guys used to be our best customers, and now we're all going bankrupt, and it's your fault. And it's really not very productive. You know, you get spoiled produce coming towards the front of the room, and it's all contentious. So I figured I would start by giving you kind of an overview of the music industry and how it works. I would have titled this, had I slides, something about music business introduction 101. Do you guys still use 101? Yeah? Okay. Some things haven't changed. I've been out of school for a while, you can get from heroin. Unconventional and probably biased overview of the music industry. Okay. So I want to do that for two reasons. First of all, I think it might be interesting. It might even be informative. And it will give you some background for some of the things that I want to talk to you about later. In particular, how the music industry has changed, and, of course, piracy and other problems that we're here to talk about today. As I said, there'll be lots of time for questions, and so if there is something that you do not understand, please feel free to speak up if you need clarification, but if it's a general question, like why do CDs cost so much, or why do you see students or something, let's kind of save it at the end, because I may cover that during the talk. So I'll start with an overview of the music industry, and I'll break down the three main components of popular recorded music. Now, some of you guys will know this, some of you guys will think it's really rudimentary, and other people, even people that work in the entertainment industry, don't think about it this way. So I wanted to talk to you first. So when we are going to put out recorded music on a CD or now downloads or whatever, you start with a composition. That's something that the songwriter creates. It generally consists of a musical score and lyrics. And if you ever see the guys get the little gramophone at the Grammys, they would be winning the award for Best Song for the composition. Somebody takes the composition and they do a performance. The performance is by the artists and musicians, and a recording is made of that performance. Again, if it was the Grammys, that would be like a best record, best album award, or something like that. And you have a recorded instantiation of a performance, is the term for it. Means you capture a performance of a song. And historically in the industry, payment to the artist was based on counting the sales. And this was pretty easy. We had this concept of fixation. You would fix an instantiation of a song to a physical carrier, originally wax cylinders, 78s, LPs, CDs, whatever it was. You would count the number of units sold, subtract the number of units returned, pay the artist, pay the songwriter, keep the rest of the money for investing in future artists and so on. Of course, this is all changing in the digital environment. That will be the main part of my talk today, but we'll look at that a little bit later. So those are the three components of recorded music. The main players that create those are, as I said, the composer, the songwriter who creates the composition, publisher, who collects the royalties on behalf of the composer. The performing artist obviously arranges, sings, plays the composition, and the record companies. And I don't know if you guys know what my background is, but I spent 12 years with Sony. 8 of that I spent at Sony Music, starting the department to sell music downloads online. And the last few years I spent negotiating with Apple and finding internet piracy. So that is what I have done. In the recent past, I just joined the Recording Industry Association, which represents the record companies, about 5 months ago. Anyway, the record companies play a role too, and I want to talk about what that is. How many people here are musicians? Okay, so probably at least those people know what an A&R person does. They're the talent scouts. They go out, they look for music, discover bands, sign them, put out their music. And we'll talk about how that's changed too a little bit later. But the general role of the record company is to finance the recording, promotion, marketing, distribution process. They help capture the performance, make the recording, mixing, mastering, all that kind of thing. And then promote it in the marketplace, manufacture physical products or distribute it electronically and sell it. And then most importantly, perhaps, the record companies pay advances to the artists, cover the initial costs, pay royalties to the publishers so that the songwriter gets paid, and pay royalties to the artists. One important thing to understand, if you're at all interested in my industry, and I'm not even sure why you guys are here. I almost want to start by saying, why are you guys here? Do you get credit for this or something? No? Just personal interest. Excellent. That's at least you're not here, but I guess I'm supposed to be on this here. So unlike Hollywood, which works on this concept of work for hire. So when a major studio like some picture studio I used to work a lot with goes to make a film or pictures or something, they will hire pretty much everybody. And although some people may have a revenue stream from the final product, the work is owned by the studio. Record companies do not really own the work. The underlying composition, as I said, is usually ownership is retained by the songwriter. The publisher collects money on their behalf. A music company works as an agent for the performing artist, the recording artist. And so it's a lot more complicated for us to monetize the music than it would be in some respects for a Hollywood studio to sell their product, because they own it outright and can do whatever they want with it in a sense. Maybe one way to help you understand what a music company does is to answer a question that maybe I don't get so much anymore on university campuses, because we'll talk about that later too, but why are CDs so expensive? Everybody says, I can burn a CD on for a quarter. I just don't get it. Why doesn't the CD cost $15, $12, whatever? And the basic reason is the music companies need to bring in enough money to finance their research and development. In a sense, that's what record companies are. They do R&D. The same way that a pharmaceutical company or anybody else would, record companies are venture capitalists. They're gambling on the success of an unproven product. The unproven product is an artist. Is this at all interesting, or are you guys completely just bored out of your skills? No? Okay. Because I can talk about suing people if that's what you want to hear. That comes later.